Sure, let's do this by the book.
Alright, let's run through the controls on the panel in front of you. The center left joystick allows you to move the submersible forward, back, left, and right. The center right joystick controls the yaw, letting you rotate left. Now let's check the altitude controls. The lever on the far right allows you to ascend and descend.
Okay.
If you look down at your hands, you can see your motion controllers. The move button on your left controller is the info button. Holding down the info button will bring up the control diagram for your controllers. If it feels more comfortable, you can operate the submersible using these controls instead of physically moving the levers.
Great. How do I interact with objects?
You can interact with objects in the submersible by touching the object with your controller and then pressing the T button to use. If you ever get stuck, just hold down the info button again to bring up the controls diagram.
Will do.
Right, now we'll move on to the map and missions. You'll see in the middle of the console in front of you is a map. It shows your current location as a blue pointer at the bottom of the screen. As you approach the wreck, it will slowly appear on the map. The yellow icon is your current goal location, so you know where you should be heading. I'll update the map and your goal locations as we go through contracts.
Right.
The screen just to the left of the console displays the mission log. It shows your current goal task. So if you aren't sure what you should be doing or looking for, check the mission log and map for more information.
Got it.
Okay, you'd better place a marker before we head too far. Interact with the button next to the map to place one.
Right. I should get my lights ready now that I'm getting close to the bow.
The far left lever controls your sub's lights. To
Marker's
turn the
been placed.
spotlights on and off, you can head towards the bow. So, I had a call from our main sponsor.
Problem?
No, all fine. Just voicing her excitement about us finally diving. Said she's looking forward to seeing what we can do. I've set up a call for 8 p.m. this evening.
For $45,000 a day, let's just hope we find something. Whoa.
There's something you don't see every day.
She's a beauty.
Okay, first things first. We've got a contract with the Titanic Society to place their commemorative plaque on the forecastle deck. Get yourself into position.
All right. Coming up to it now. Ah, the ROV.
Yep, courtesy of Flight Avionics and the latest in augmented reality technology. If you look up, you'll find a set of VR goggles and a control panel.
To deploy the ROV, reach out and touch the VR goggles with your motion controller. Then press the T button to use.
The controls to maneuver the Predator are the same as the submersible. Make your way over to the plaques already laying on the deck, and remember that the range is only up to 15 meters. The advantage of driving without an umbilical.
Is there any way to boost the signal?
Yeah, but we need to upgrade the deep-sea transmitter, and they don't come cheap. The generosity of our sponsors and UNS funding only goes so far. If we complete these contract jobs, we might just be able to afford some upgrades.
What happens if I go out of range?
The automatic recall kicks in. ROV comes straight back to the sub.
I'm here.
Great. The plaque we're placing is in the Predator's inventory. You can access it through the menu.
Ah, how do I open the menu?
You can open the menu by pressing and releasing the info button. While in the menu, you can check your map and mission log and access the inventory. To interact with items in the inventory, use the laser pointer to highlight the item and press the T button to select.
Okay, I'll place the plaque down on top of the flashing beacon. I'll take a photograph with the onboard camera for the Society.
Great idea. They'll appreciate that. You can access the camera through the ROV inventory. Open up the menu again and select the camera icon from the inventory screen.
Press one of the T buttons to take a photograph. You can get out of camera mode by pressing and releasing the No need. Just press the move button on your right controller. This is the return button.
Now you're back in the sub. Recall the ROV by pressing the button next to the ROV goggles. It's above you on the right.
Where to now?
Hull breach on E deck. I'll mark it on your map.
We're heading for his cabin, right?
That's right. Eyewitness testimony said Henderson kept a journal. It should tell us more about his activities on the final night.
I presume I'm looking for some kind of trunk.
Henderson had a briefcase listed on the manifest. With any luck, it's still in his room. Dr. Lynch,
Yeah?
why are we doing this?
$45,000 a day at sea.
No, I know, but that just about covers the costs of the expedition. I meant, like, why are we taking this job in particular?
Well, put it this way. Why do you think she hired us?
Because we're academics?
Yes, but more specifically, we respect the history. It would have been cheaper for our sponsor to just hire a salvage team.
And why'd you agree to take it?
Funding like this comes once in a blue moon, and I wanted to see her up close.
This breach is from the impact with the ocean floor. Anything in here is going to be messy.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
It's towards the top of the breach. Look for the flashing beacon. I really hope his briefcase is there.
I found a briefcase. I just need to pick it up by holding down one of the T buttons to interact.
WJH. I think this is it.
Well, that's lucky. Are you going to open it?
No, not here. Assuming there's anything intact in there, it'll start degrading as soon as I open the case. I'll have to bring it back to the lab before we can take a peek.
Okay, you should put the briefcase in the Predator's storage then. Just open and close the menu again by pressing and releasing the info button. The briefcase will appear in the ROV's inventory as a selectable item, and you'll have your hands free again.
Right. If this is the last task for today, I'll head back to the lab now.
Yep, just return to the submersible and you can head up from there. I can't wait to see what's inside. Let's get you to the surface. Activate the autopilot and get comfortable.
Alright, I'll see you in about 2 hours.
Okay, I'm back in the lab. I need to complete the tasks listed on the whiteboard by teleporting around the room and interacting with the recovered items and preservation stations. When I complete a task, the next task will appear on the board. I can rotate on the spot using the cross and circle buttons on the left motion controller, and interact with items using either controller. To teleport, I need to hold down the square button on the left controller while aiming at one of the chairs dotted around the lab. When the white square appears on the ground, I let go of the button and instantly teleport to that location. If I drop an item and can't reach it, I can use the tractor beam to recover it. I just need to hold down one of the T buttons while aiming at the item and it will move up to my hand. If I get really stuck, holding down both T buttons and move buttons will reset the items back to the starting tub while keeping my progress. If I'm not sure what to do, I can always refer to the whiteboard to see the next task. Our sponsor is calling at 8 o'clock, so I better get started by opening this briefcase.
Whoa, looks to be in good condition.
Let's get this cleaned up. Silver doesn't look great after being in the ocean. This tobacco tin is covered in silver sulfide. I'll have to gently wash this using a soft brush, making sure I don't scratch the surface underneath. These banknotes are delicate and will need a good rinsing in the desalination bath. Then we can treat them in the fungicide to keep them clean before... This journal is pretty special. The page is a bone hair comb. I'll need to wash the salt out quickly before it crystallizes and the bone starts to crumble. It's ready for drying in the acetone bath. It's come up great. looks like a receipt for a telegraph sent on the night of April 14th.
That's strange. I haven't found any reference to one being sent. I wonder what it said. Here's our sponsor. We can tell her the news.
Hi, team. How are you both?
Hi, Gillian. We're doing great.
We've just finished cleaning the artifacts we found today. We managed to access Henderson's cabin and retrieve his briefcase.
Wonderful.
Inside we found his journal, a few personal items still in good condition. One interesting item is a receipt for a telegraph sent on the night of the sinking.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know William sent a message.
That's what we thought.
It's possible it wasn't sent, and that it's still in either the purser's office or the Marconi room. We're thinking our next dive should be to explore these rooms.
I know teams have searched the Marconi room before, but I didn't think the purser's office was accessible.
Yeah, up till now it's been off limits due to the size of ROVs, but ours is small enough to access it. We're hoping we might find the purser's record book, with the message listed.
As for the Marconi room, other dives have shown most of the furniture is deteriorated, but the telegraph canisters might have survived.
Sounds plausible. Let me know if you find anything. I'd love to see the message he sent. I've only the letters from Southampton.
I noticed something odd in his journal. On the 14th he mentions carrying some special package, but I'm sure he didn't have anything reported in the manifest. Do you have any idea what it could be?
Well, in his last letter, he wrote about returning home with a present for my great-grandmother. I'll do a bit of research on my end. I can check over the manifests again to see if we missed anything.
Great, we'll let you know if we find anything tomorrow. I'm sending over photos of the items we found today.
Thanks, I really appreciate the regular updates. It's making writing much easier. We'll talk again soon.
Well, shall we call it a day?
Not quite. Gillian was kind enough to order in a stronger transmitter for our ROV. We'll need to fit it before the dive tomorrow. Otherwise, we won't be able to reach the purser's office.
I need to replace the transmitter in the
It's waiting
ROV
for you
with the
over
one on
there.
the table next to it. Thanks. She's all ready to go for tomorrow.
Cool. I'll see you in the morning then.
Radio check, Wilson.
Coming in nice and clear, Dr. Lynch.
Great. First up is the purser's office on C deck, correct?
Correct. To access it, you'll need to head down through the hole where the forward grand staircase was. I'll mark it on your map.
The C deck is pretty compressed from what I've heard.
Yeah, the impact with the sea floor bent most of the supporting pillars, so they're struggling with the weight of the floors above.
With the rate of decay increasing, it won't be long before it all collapses. I'm glad we've had a chance to come down here and see it for ourselves before all this becomes inaccessible.
And she was sinking fast then. And all of a sudden she lifted up quickly, and you could hear everything crashing through her. Everything that was movable was going through her. And then she went down and seemed to come up again. So I thought, well, now I'm going to leave. And I was hanging on to a board. We had two boards, starboard and port, which said, keep clear of propeller blades. And I was hanging on to one of these, and I was getting higher and higher in the air. And I thought, well, now I'll go. And I dropped in. I had a lifebelt on. And I hit the water with a terrific crack. Luckily, I didn't hit anything when I dropped in. There were bodies all over the place. And then I looked up at the Titanic. The propellers were right out of water, the rudder was right out, and I could see the bottom. And then gradually she glided away, and that was that. That was the last of the Titanic. I didn't want to die. I mean, I didn't see much chance of living, but I was gradually getting frozen up. And by the grace of God, I came across a lifeboat, and they pulled me in.
You'll need to be careful of debris when descending with the Predator. It might make it easier if you position your sub so the lights shine down the void.
Good idea. Deploying Predator, starting to descend. Here we are.
Great. The purser's office and inquiry desk are on the starboard side. You'll need to go over the desk to get into the side room.
Right, I'm here.
The office is to the left as you enter. Be careful. This area hasn't been explored before. We don't know what we'll find in here.
To think the last person in this room would have been Chief Purser McElroy.
The record book would have been kept in a leather pouch.
I don't see it here.
Maybe try the safe back out in the inquiry office.
The doors are rusted shut. We can't check inside.
Is the pouch among the debris?
No, I can't see the leather pouch anywhere. We might be out of luck.
That's a shame.
We'll have to hope the Marconi room gives us some answers.
While we're here, we should collect a sample of the rust on the safe doors. NCPA regularly check for new species of bacteria living in rusticles, and I'm sure
I'll take
they'll
a
want a
photograph of
sample
the
of
scene
this.
too. They'll need to see the rusticle formations as well. we'd better move on to the Marconi room.
I'll mark it on your map. You'll need to head back to the sub to get there. The Marconi room isn't too far from here, just between the first funnel and your current position.
How do I get in?
Either through the skylight or the corridors. Up to you which you feel is safer.
Right, I don't want to damage the wreck, or the ROV. I'm in. There really isn't much left here, is there?
No, not really. Most of the furniture was wood, so it's almost all deteriorated.
There's a lot of debris on the ground, and a few broken canisters. Alright, just 3 canisters left to collect. Two more to go. I'll grab the last one. Right, I've got all the canisters. Alright, heading back up now.
See you soon, Doctor.
These brass canisters will need a good scrub in fresh water. It'll stop them from oxidizing when they dry. surprised these paper messages survived. They'll need to be soaked in the desal bath and then in the fungicide tub. Ready for freeze drying. Transferred to Titanic. Fine ship, fine weather. Arrive Wednesday with special delivery. Love, William.
He mentions the package again. Maybe he really did have something stowed in the cargo hold.
Nothing was listed on the manifest.
A lot of things weren't.
He could have been referring to anything, though. Might have been something special in his suitcase or in the purser's safe.
We can still search the cargo hold as a start.
Yeah, we'll check it out next dive. Right on time.
Hello, team.
Hey, Gillian.
We recovered the message from the Marconi room, but it doesn't really give us any new information.
That's still great news. I daren't have hoped you'd find it. What does it say?
We're sending you through a photo of the message now.
Thank you. Oh, it adds another layer to the story, doesn't it?
He must have thought himself lucky to have been transferred to Titanic.
The coal strike meant many people were upgraded to Titanic.
Such tragedy.
William refers to a delivery in this message, so we're assuming he may have kept something in the cargo hold. We're planning to head down there next dive to check it out. Depending on what it was, there's a chance it survived.
Did you find anything we missed in the cargo manifests?
No, but I've been doing a bit of extra sleuthing. I found out that there was a registered parcel traveling on the Titanic with a Mr. W.J. Henderson's name on it. Is it possible that the gift was traveling as mail and not cargo?
Yeah, that's a possibility. They could have also been two separate packages. The only way to know would be to check both rooms.
The mailroom used to be off limits, but we can access it through a new hole in the cargo hold wall. Our ROV will need another transmitter upgrade to delve that deep, though, and a longer lasting battery. Do you have any idea of the size of the parcel? What's inside it?
No. Could have been anything, really. The registered weight suggests something small, and Mary liked delicate things. Maybe something French? She loved southern France.
Could it have been a religious gift? I read the Hendersons were very involved in their local church.
Yes, definitely. In fact, I'm surprised William's Bible wasn't in the suitcase you recovered. He was known to carry it everywhere.
Maybe he had it with him during the sinking.
Perhaps. There are mixed reports about his final moments, unfortunately. I'm not sure we'll ever find out what really happened.
Well, we'll try our best to find out. Hopefully we can learn more about him from the next dive.
I do hope so. I want to tell my great-grandfather's story accurately in this biography.
We'll speak again tomorrow, after the dive.
Yes, thank you. Talk to you then.
Right. We better get those upgrades for Predator sorted then.
I'll get on it now. She's good to go.
Thanks.
Radio check, CCGS Wilson.
Signal is great, Dr. Lynch.
All right.
I'm just marking a cargo hold on your map. You can access it from the number 2 hatch on the forward well deck.
I'll make my way to the hatch and deploy Predator.
I remember it all, very clearly, from the moment that my father wakened me, because of course I was in bed and asleep, until I saw that ship sink, and afterwards when I heard the people drown. I remember it all vividly.
Do you remember the panic, the fright? Were you panicked and frightened, or did you kind of, being 7 years of age, not really take it all in?
Oh no, I took it all in, but the panic started, of course, after the all too few lifeboats had gone, and people were coming up on deck hoping to get into a lifeboat, and there weren't any boats for them. That's when the panic started, which we could hear when we were in the lifeboat.
I suppose as a very young person, you could see adults panicking and
Oh,
screaming.
yes,
Must have been
indeed.
absolutely horrific.
Dreadful.
And your father went down with the ship.
Yes, he did.
Your mother, however, was
She was
spared
saved
you.
with me, yes, that's right.
And I hate to drag it up, but do you remember going away in one of the dinghies looking back at the ships?
I do indeed, yes. Very clearly, and to this day I hate looking at pictures of ships.
It might be a good idea to shine your sublights down the void again. There will be a lot of debris down there.